Hello students, good morning. Hopefully you are very well. Hopefully you are understanding, you are realizing the the ideal paths showed by Dr. Kalam when we are going through the difficult chapters, the difficult phases of Kalam's life. Okay, in my last class, last day you came to know about Kalam's father, great vision about prayer and spirituality. You came to know that Kalam's father Jainul Abidin was a great spiritual person, and naturally, as this spirituality was transformed into Kalam, Kalam was also a spiritual figure. You came to know about the great relevance, about the great importance, significance of prayer and spirituality yesterday or in my last class. Today also you are going to know about Kalam's father's great fundamental truth that was revealed by Jainul Abidin to Kalam. Okay, next para you follow. Direct narration, direct quotation. Why don't you say this to the people? Kalam is asking his father Jainul Abidin. Why don't you say this? This, this pronunciation, this. The pronoun you follow. Here this means follow the previous para. Follow the former para. Where Jainul Abidin is telling to Kalam about the significance of human life on this earth. Jainul Abidin is telling Kalam about the importance of man's life on this earth. Every human being is a part of nature. Every human being at any stage of life is an existence of divine being. So, when man is in any trouble, any problem or any suffering, he or she should not be afraid at all. Because an existing power is always on this earth. That is godly power. God is always present to help man for overcoming all obstructions, all obstacles of life. Kalam also came to know that adversity always presents man a beautiful scope for introspection, for character analysis. Okay, so Kalam is asking his father, why don't you say this? Means why don't you say this great truth of life to the people who come to you for help and advice? So Kalam is asking his father why he does not express or convey this great truth of life to his disciples, to his devotees. Every day lots of people from different communities visit Kalam's father. Kalam's father is presented before them as a great figure, as a godly figure. So every day lots of people come to Kalam's father asking for his help and advice. So the question of boy Kalam is why his father does not convey or does not say this great truth of life to those people, means to those disciples of his father. Clear? Kalam is telling, one day I asked my father this question. He put his hands, he means father. Father rested, put means here rested, past tense, his two hands on my shoulders and looked straight and looked directly. Straight means here directly, face to face, into my eyes for quite some time, for a while, for a few minutes. He said nothing, means father replied nothing. Father was silent. As if, means it seemed, as it were. He was judging. He was studying. He was analyzing my capacity, my capability, my ability, my efficiency to understand. To comprehend means to understand, to feel, F-double-E-L. His words means the language of his words, his announcement. Kalam is telling, when I asked my father why he does not say this to those people who are the disciples of father, so Kalam's father on the very moment, resting or keeping his two hands on his two shoulders, looking directly face to face into his two eyes, father answered. Kalam is telling as if father was judging, father was studying, father was examining my capacity, my efficiency to feel his words, to feel the words of his answer. Then he answered. Then Jainul Abidin answered in a low, deep voice. In a low means soft voice. Deep means here serious, sincere. Jainul Abidin answered Kalam in a serious voice. Though the voice was soft, it was very sincere and very serious. Kalam is telling, his answer filled me with a strange energy and enthusiasm. His answer filled me with a strange energy, with a mysterious power or force or strength and a great interest. Enthusiasm means great interest. Now Kalam is sharing with us what was the answer of his father on the very moment. Let's follow. Direct narration. Whenever human beings find themselves alone on this earth, whenever human beings find themselves alone means companionless. Alone means here companionless, friendless. As a natural reaction, as a normal reaction, as a normal response. Natural means normal, reaction means response. They start looking for company. They means the companionless people. Start means begin. Looking for means searching. Company means companionship. Whenever they are in trouble, whenever the people are present in any trouble, they look for someone. Means they search someone to help them. Who will help them? Whenever they reach an impasse, whenever those people reach in any difficult situation, impasse means a difficult situation, an obstruction, in any hard situation, they look to someone to show them the way out. They look means they look for someone who is present to present them the way out, means the solution, means how to come out or go out from this difficult situation. So again I am repeating. So Kalam's father Jainul Abidin replied Kalam that people on this earth always want companionship. As man is a social being, man cannot live alone on this earth. Whenever people are in any trouble, whenever people are in any difficult situation or condition, they search, they look for someone always. That someone will supply them a suitable solution. This is the natural reaction and normal response of human bodies. Again, follow. Every recurrent anguish, Every recurrent means recurring, means repeating, that happens again and again. Recurrent means something, some event that happens repeatedly, again and again. Every recurrent anguish means great pain, physical or mental pain. Longing means great wish, desire, wanting, wanting. And desire and great wish, deep wish, wish. Finds means looks for its own special helper, its own special helper means helping hand, assisting way, assisting hand. So I am repeating, Kalam's father Jainul Abedin convinced Kalam that on this earth every repetitive anguish or pain or any suffering, any wanting or any strong wish within the heart of people automatically always searches or finds out a special helping hand, a special helper. One example you follow. Suppose you want to buy, to purchase a very expensive, a very costly iPhone, but you do not have enough or sufficient money within your pocket, but your heart wants it severely, greatly. So automatically your heart will respond to you day by day to manage to save some money. Day after day, saving a little money, bit by bit, one day you will be successful to purchase, to capture an iPhone. That was your heart's desire. Such is the announcement of Kalam's father. Every recurrent anguish means every repeating, every recurring pain or wanting or strong wish, strong desire, automatically within our heart finds out or searches a special helping hand. This is the natural reaction of human heart. In this way, Kalam's father is conveying Kalam so many fundamental truths of life, so many preliminary, basic truths of life. Already in several passages previously, you have come to know about several important basic truths of life or fundamental truths of life. Here again you are coming to know about the great announcement of Kalam's father about the fundamental truths of life. Clear? Next. For the people who come to me in distress, Kalam's father is answering, replying Kalam. For the people means for those people who are like my disciples, who regularly come to me in distress, in their adversity, in their difficulties. I am but a go-between. I am nothing but a go-between. But means nothing but. Go-between means mediator, middleman. I am nothing but a mediator or middleman in their effort, in their attempts. Effort means attempts. To propitiate, to appease, APPEISE. To calm down, CILM. To cool down, to satisfy. Demonic forces means evil forces, monstrous forces. Demonic forces means evil forces, evil powers. With prayers and offerings, with prayer to God, with prayer to Allah, with offerings means gifts to the mediator, middleman. So Kalam is telling, my father tells me that my father Joinul Abedin is a middleman, is a mediator between the distressed people and God the Almighty, the Allah. People who are in distress, who are in adversity, believe that if they pray to Allah, if they pray to God, if they pay some offerings to me, they will be able to overcome their difficulties, their adversities, their sufferings of life. So those people believe that their sufferings, their distress, their adversity, their sorrowful conditions, their bad situations, all are the outcomes of demonic forces, evil forces. So they want to satisfy, they want to appease, APPEASE, they want to come down those demonic forces or evil forces with prayers and offerings. So those people every day come to me, means come to Joinul Abedin, they pray to Allah and they pay their offerings, they supply their offerings to me, because they believe that if with their offerings they can please me, they can satisfy me, God or Allah will be satisfied. The demonic forces, the evil forces will be calmed down, will be appeased, will be satisfied. So their sufferings, their sorrowful conditions will be automatically removed from their lives. So Kalam is telling, those people believe me as a special helper, as a special assisting hand to overcome their misfortunes, their sorrowful events, sorrowful conditions of their lives. So Kalam is telling, my father told me that I am nothing but a go-between. When so many people in distressed condition come to me, and when they try to offer me some gifts, some things, when they try to pray to Allah, to pray to God, to be free from the attacks of evil days, I take the role of a middleman, mediator, in their effort, in their attempt to propitiate, to appease, to cool down, to come down, to satisfy the evil forces or demonic forces of the earth. Now Father is telling, this is not a correct approach at all and should never be followed. This is not a correct approach at all. This, what is this? This means the approach of offering, the approach of praying. So approach means your way, method. So Joinul Abedin is telling, the distressed people try to appease the demonic forces or evil forces with prayers and offerings. And I also take the role of mediator in their efforts. Now Joinul Abedin is telling the reality of life. Though the people try to appease, to satisfy the demonic or evil forces with prayers and offerings, this method, this approach is not a proper one, is not a suitable one, is not the right one. So Joinul Abedin is telling, this is not a correct approach at all. At all means in any way. In any way. this approach, this way, this method of offering and praying, in any way, it is not the correct one, it is not the right one. So it should not be allowed. So it should not be followed at all. Because sufferings, adversities, obstructions, troubles, problems, sorrowful conditions, sad events are not in any way the outcomes of evil forces or demonic forces. Only man's activities, man's doings, deeds, DWDs, are responsible for his misfortune, for his sorrowful conditions, deadlock situations. So Jainul Abedin is telling, when people try to be free from his evil days, when people try to be free from their sorrowful days, from their sufferings, by praying and offering to God, they actually do something wrong. This is not a correct approach or correct method at all, or in any way, because the sorrowful days, the evil days, the sufferings, the adversities are not in any way the outcomes of evil forces or demonic forces. So it is unnecessary, the way of prayer and offerings to Allah or to me, to be removed from the evil days or sorrowful days. Now Jainul Abedin is clearing more vividly. Because one must understand the difference between a fear-ridden vision of destiny and the vision that enables us to seek the enemy of fulfillment within ourselves. Very important announcement, very significant announcement. The great philosophy of life. One must understand, one means universal truth, means one man, we. We must understand the difference between a fear-ridden vision of destiny. Fear-ridden means caused by fear, means fearful. Vision means sight, S-I-G-H-T, view, V-I-E-W. Destiny means fate, F-A-T-E. And the vision that enables us, that makes us able to seek, S-W-E-K, means to search, to look for. The enemy, the fault, enemy means here fault, F-A-U-L-T. Shortcomings, defects of fulfillment, of achievement, accomplishment, success. Fulfillment means here accomplishment, achievement or success within ourselves, within the hearts of the people themselves. I am clearing again. Jainul Abedin is clearing that vision has a twofold view. The twofold vision of destiny is being cleared here. Vision of destiny is divided into two parts. One type of destiny is fear-ridden vision of destiny. That means fearful vision of destiny. And another type of destiny is the character analyzing vision of destiny. Activity analyzing vision of destiny. On this earth, according to Jainul Abedin, on this earth there are two sections of people. One section of people believes in destiny, in their fate, in their bad luck. Okay? Another section of people does not believe in destiny at all, does not believe in misfortune or fate at all. They believe in their self-dependence. They believe in their self-confidence. They believe in their own activities. Some people believe that the sorrowful days, the misfortunate days, the evil situations, the sufferings, all are present in their life because they are the victims of destiny, bad luck. So they become disappointed, frustrated, hopeless. So they do not stand up at all. They admit, they acknowledge that the sorrowful days, the misfortune days, the sufferings are predestined. Means previously determined by God or by some demonic forces. And some people believe that the misfortunate days, the sorrowful days, the sufferings, the adversities, the distress are not in any way predestined, are not in any way predetermined. Only the sufferings or sorrowful days are the outcomes of their own activities, of their own doings, deeds, DEEDS. So those people always try to find out the enemy, the fault, the defect that is present within their own characters. Suppose I am a person of the vision of character analyzing, the vision of destiny of activity analyzing. If I am in a failure situation, if I am in a sorrowful situation, if I am in suffering, I must think about my activities, about my duties. I must find out the enemy, the fault that is present within my character. This fault is the enemy of my success. This fault is maybe the lack of proper education, the deficiency of proper knowledge, lack of proper labor, lack of proper dutifulness, lack of proper responsibility, lack of honesty. These are the enemies of character. These are the enemies. These are the faults, defects that are present within our characters. And these faults, these enemies are the obstructions for the progress of life, for the happy days of life. So Jainul Abedin is clearing on this earth there is a twofold vision of destiny. One kind of vision of destiny is the fearful vision of destiny. And another kind of vision of destiny is the character analyzing vision of destiny, activity analyzing vision of destiny. Some people believe in their fate, so they are always frustrated, they are always disappointed, hopeless for their sorrowful days, for their sufferings. And some people do not believe in their fate at all. Some people do not believe in their vision of destiny at all. They believe in their self-dependence. They believe in their self-confidence. So they always try to find out the enemy, the fault that is present within their own characters, that is present within their own activities. That is the obstruction for their development, for their joyful days or happy days. So they always try to find out the enemy of fulfillment, enemy of accomplishment or success, and they always try to remove those faults of the character. Those people always try to find out and remove all those faults of the character, like lack of education, lack of proper knowledge, lack of honesty, lack of dutifulness, lack of responsibility. These are the enemies of life. These are the obstructions for prosperous days of life. In this way, Kalam's father taught, T-A-U-G-H-T, educated Kalam about the proper vision of life. In this way, Kalam was day by day taught and educated by his father Jainul Abidin about the great truths of life. Kalam was not only spiritually educated by his father, he was also practically educated by his father. Jainul Abidin supplied Kalam not only the vision of spiritual power, not only the vision of godly power, but also the vision of practical power, but also the vision of this practical world. So, Kalam is grateful to his father. So, this is the great dedication of Kalam to his father Jainul Abidin. How bit by bit, day by day, he was educated, he was benefited by his father from his early childhood days. Next day you will come to know about the last portion, the conclusion portion of Strong Roots. Today up to here, hopefully you will understand how I have explained the spirituality, the practicality of Kalam's father's days for your better understanding. Thank you to all. Today up to here.